The breaking news that's coming in from Thailand, the Thailand Prime Minister has now been removed. Srettha Thavisin is the Prime Minister who has been removed from the office for a cabinet appointment. It deemed an ethics violation. A Thai court has ordered the removal of Prime Minister Srettha's removal. That's the latest that's coming in. The court has now said that it is because of ethics violation. Let me tell you what's exactly happened. Thailand's Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin has been removed from the office after a court ruled that he had violated the constitution in a shock decision that has plunged the kingdom into further political uncertainty. We have Krutat joining me from the newsroom. Krutat, tell us about this breaking news that's coming in from Thai.
That the Thailand's Prime Minister has been now imprisoned for an alleged attempt to bribe a court official, and this is involving a judgment by the Constitutional Court where Judge Srettha has said that there are clear indications of violations here in this case, and a cabinet member who has been imprisoned now over an alleged attempt to bribe a court official. So what we are recollecting right now is that the cabinet will remain in place on a caretaker basis until the parliament approves a new Prime Minister, but there is no time limit on the parliament to fill this position at the moment. So the Thailand government has now become headless, and it is no longer the Prime Minister no longer enjoys the confidence of the House because by virtue of the court's ruling. So now all eyes will be on the Thai Parliament because now the party will be forced to come up with a new leader is what we are picking up at the moment. But Srettha had appointed Pichit Chumban, a minister of the Prime Minister's office in the cabinet reshuffle in April. And it was this minister who was then jailed for 6 months in 2008 on contempt of court charges also. So you see, there has been a dubious history of this minister appointed by the Prime Minister, and now a conflict of interest also emerging out of it. The court has said that although Pichit has already served his jail time, it is said that his behavior as ruled by the court was dishonest. And Srettha as Prime Minister has the sole responsibility of vetting the qualifications of his cabinet nominations. That was the ruling by the court. And hence, because of this appointment of this minister, which the court believes was not in accordance to the law of the land, the Prime Minister has violated the ethical boundaries and now he has been removed from his position. That is what we are taking right now.
Krutat, tell us about the political ramifications this could have in Thailand because it's already, pretty volatile. The dubious past is now out in the open. Tell us what's next.
It is very interesting, Deepak, now when we see that the parliament's head of the government has now been removed. The parliamentary democracy functions in the manner in which that the party that enjoys the majority gets to appoint the Prime Minister. Now that the Prime Minister of the ruling party has been ousted, the parliament will now have the responsibility of once again exercising its majority and putting in a new Prime Minister in place. Now from what we know, since the Prime Minister is now disqualified on the basis of ethical grounds, that is what the court has ruled, the parliament will now have to fix a new Prime Minister. What does this mean for the Thailand government? Well, the government will remain in place as it is. It will continue as a caretaker government until a new Prime Minister is elected. And once the new Prime Minister is elected, the new Prime Minister will obviously have the liberty to once again name their own cabinet and go about the government as they deem fit as per the constitution of Thailand. So at the moment, the Thailand's government will not have a Prime Minister. So basically their line of succession will be then taken into account, and whoever is next in line will assume charge of the interim government or the caretaker government sort of until and unless a new Prime Minister is elected. But what is interesting here, Deepak, is that there are no limitations on the Thailand Parliament. There is no status quo in terms of how soon they need to appoint a new Prime Minister. So the entire political turmoil in Thailand will now focus on electing a leader of the ruling party as soon as possible. But since there is no stipulated time frame under which the Parliament is obliged to elect the new Prime Minister, it will depend now whether it will be a few days, a few hours or a few weeks in the internal political tussle which has led to the massive debacle of the Prime Minister sitting at the moment in Thailand. Deepak.
Right, Krutat, thank you for joining me with those details. Let's move on, viewers. After the Supreme Court's nudge